stage, that let's increase the number of blacks who are doing this thing. And some of our approaches and initiatives to try and introduce it, for example, at campuses around the Cape and elsewhere, to increasing the number of people who operate effectively in those environments with little cultural or whatever issue that might arise issues. But it's just from a statistical issue, but also from an impact point of view. We've got bigger numbers in the country, and most communities that suffer the levels of stress that we are dealing with need to have people in those neighborhoods who are able to do the kind of work we are doing. The geography that we often speak about, for me, for example, would be a difficult idea because I operate virtually in the rest of the continent. Let me give you an example. For example, I, on a once a year, for one or two days, I do what they call a leadership, emotional intelligence, and democracy program. I have found a creative way to integrate introduction to TRE, and the program I do there is one of the most popular. Every evaluation they do, the feedback they get back is that that's one of the most popular. And people who I do this with come from the region where we are located. In other words, geographically, outside of South Africa, in Namibia, in Angola, in Mozambique, and often people from Tanzania come as well, and so and Zimbabwe here. So the number of people who come, young people, but then on others we deal with elderly people, meaning elderly people and so on. And so the impact and the seeds we're already planting in the entire SADC, if I may say so, the Southern African Development Community, is a significant one. And so this is why I'm saying, for me, those introductions are crucial. I was with a few people, for example, in the last 2 days, and they were meeting as part of the Robben Island Museum, which is a museum of where Nelson Mandela and other political prisoners were housed. So many of the people who were there, who spent life there, continue to have a big need for assistance with the conditions that they've gone through. And when I introduced, this is for members of the board of the museum, TRE to them, they were all absolutely excited and are waiting for us to talk to them. And some of them already also operate, for example, in Burundi and so on. And so there is a potential, an excitement, and possibility of development that is available to us, provided we increase not only quantitatively, but qualitatively people who come from these areas and these communities, so that they themselves can then take it forward in their areas.